I officially hate myself. The video I wanted to film today was a tier list video. I wanted to film that video because I enjoy tier list videos, but I've never made one before. I love watching them because it allows me to relate to a content creator that I enjoy watching, especially if it's about a shared interest, and I both get to learn a little bit more about their thought process on that interest and see how my feelings and thoughts around things relate to theirs. Whether I share the same views or I disagree on certain things, or if it's just so similar but it's got a tiny little difference. I love that kind of thing. I recorded it. I filmed that entire video. It was 20-30 minutes of straight recording. Finished off the tier list, felt really good about myself. And you know what I do? I look over and I see that my mic was muted the entire time. My microphone was muted the whole time. It was the best one-take video I think I've ever done. I don't think I will ever be able to top that. Internally seething. That's me right now. So I'm going to do my absolute best to redo that video for you guys and just clean slate it, go with it, just see what happens. I'm very much still obsessed with Hazbin Hotel, so I think it's just a no-brainer to have my first tier list video ever be a Hazbin Hotel one. And I have been a theater kid forever, and so I think talking about the music would be would make the most sense to me. So we're gonna do it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to go in order of appearance, which I believe everything is... Oh, no, it is not all set up to be. I think there's one exception. Okay, I think now it's in order of appearance. No, it's not in order of appearance. It is not. Is it now in order of appearance? I think it might be. Okay, I think now we're in order of appearance. So we're going to start off with Happy Day in Hell. When it comes to musical intros, I think there's a way to do them right and a way to do them wrong. And I think Happy Day in Hell was a fantastic one. I personally think it deserves to be A tier, not quite S tier, but it is really, really good. Most notably, there's this moment in there that it's like, I don't want to call it like a beat switch, but like the style of the song switches up a little bit. I think it's right when Charlie like grabs onto like a van that's driving by and goes along with it. Oh, I love the style of music it switched. It was just so pleasing to listen to. I wish I could get a little more of that, to be completely honest. But I think it wasn't like I will listen to this on repeat sort of song, but it was a fantastic way to open things up. And so I think it most definitely deserves to be in A tier. Moving on though, Hell is Forever. Certified banger. Certified banger. I don't think there's too much to say outside of that, but like the part where Adam goes and like has a little bit of a chorus behind him when singing Hell is Forever, like, musically that it scratches an itch that if I could put that section on repeat, or like somehow do like an extension where just that musical styling and like mixing goes throughout the rest of the song, I don't think I'd ever not listen to that. It's a fantastic song, and I think that even in the actual scene, like in the show where this is happening, the little like stiff flying animation where like Adam and Luke kind of like go up like that and fly towards Charlie, it's so pleasing to the eye while it's being so pleasing to the ear. I love it. It is definitely an S tier song. I have it on my playlist of like, this is the first set of things I listen to every time I go driving or go to the gym or something like that. Also, I have a soft spot for Alex Brightman. I think 90% of the songs that he sings are certified bangers. It's just he's one of two people on this tier list, one of two actors in Hazbin Hotel that is there. And I will let you guys guess who the next person is, but we're not going to go to that person yet. But I'll have you guys guess. Internet cookie points to you if you can guess who the next person who I have that opinion of is. Internet cookie points to you. Next up, Stayed Gone. Honestly, it's another S tier. This is the song that actually got me to watch Hazbin Hotel. So, a little bit of context. I didn't follow the pilot or any of the live streams or songs that came out before season 1, whether like Insane, Addicted, I think it's Addicted. Is that what it's? Is that the Angel and Cherry Bomb song? Regardless, I was not in the fandom until season 1 dropped. And what got me to start the show was scrolling through TikTok. Someone posted a clip of Stayed Gone, specifically starting from like Alistair walking out of the Taylor. And from that moment on, I was just hooked. That was all I needed. And I was, all right, I need to figure out where I can watch this. I need to see the full song. I found it on, I think I found it on YouTube, and it was just, I was done from there. It was just, my soul had been sold to this show from that moment on. And so for that reason, outside of how amazing the song is musically, one of my favorite songs, period, from the soundtrack, definitely a top 5. Outside of that, just the fact that this was the song that got me into Hazbin Hotel to begin with, S tier. S tier, no question about it. Now, next up is It Starts With Sorry. I think that this is a very good song, and I did just say, when it comes to Alex Brightman, that there is very few things that are not absolute bangers. Unfortunately, this is one of those, it's not a banger to me. It's a musically good song, don't get me wrong, it is a good song. It's not... The songs that are really huge bangers with this show that I really enjoy, that I'll listen to on repeat, are like the high energy, dynamic, like really shows off the range of the vocalists that are singing. And I just don't think It Starts With Sorry was one of those songs. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier, but it's a really good song still. It's not like a top 5, top 10 banger of a song, if you will. Maybe if something else goes, maybe if something else is like between A and B, or between B and C, this can get bumped up or bumped down. But I think right now, to start, B tier. Next up is Respectless. I have some thoughts on this song. I very much like Velvet's singing. When she was introduced, when talking to Vox, like about Val and all that, I thought that her lines were kind of edited together to be like a little rushed. Like when she's like shooing off Vox, it gave me like a weird vibe, how like rapid fire one after another her lines were. And I was worried a little bit on the pacing when it got to time for her to sing. Holy crap, were all of those concerns blown away when she started. I want to put this in A tier because Velvet herself makes that song. Zestral's one-liner, perfect. Somehow a single line got so much attention and love from the community. It was kind of hilarious. Unfortunately, I feel like Carmilla was a detriment to the song. Like, narratively, I know the point that it's purposely Velvet, like, sussing out that Carmilla is hiding something. But I just thought that the Carmilla's style and Velvet's style were just so different, and it wasn't like a 1-to-1. Like, it felt like Velvet dominated the song as far as timing-wise. It felt like the contrast in Carmilla's parts kind of kept it from being like an S tier banger to me. It's still a very good song, 100% still A tier. I think it's like one of those like teetering kind of things where it could be like an A+ if there was an A+, but at that point I'd also probably put that as an A+. But there is no A+, so it's staying at A. Coffee break. I am thirsty. Yeah. All right, next up is Whatever It Takes. I want to like this song so much more than I do. It gives Stephanie Beatrice the ability to sing in her natural range, not her like lower, like Vaggie or Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine kind of voice. I think she sang in that like lower octave in Happy Day in Hell, and it felt almost as if she was like reaching to hit that, where her parts in Whatever It Takes felt so much more natural and full for her. Zestral honestly kind of ruined it for me, though. I don't know why. It might have been like the mixing on his voice to get like, or like the way that that James was voicing Zestral to kind of like be that older voice. There was just something about it that made it just, I don't like that I don't like it. I really want to like it. I just it's B tier, because A tier so far are like, would be S tier if it had one or two changes. B tier is like, this is not one of those songs. This is not one of those it's close to S tier kind of songs. So I'm gonna put it in line with It Starts With Sorry as B tier. Next up, Poison. Poison's a certified banger. There's not too much else to say there. Fantastic song. Hell, the choreography is so good too. I love seeing like dancers on like TikTok or things like that like do the choreography from this song, or like attempt it, or like do their own choreography. It's such a good song to dance to. I think that's what it is. And the in-show choreography looks like it catches the eye so well. Part of me wasn't sure if this was an A kind of song or not, but honestly, the more I listen back to it, it's just such a banger. It's one of those, it can be on repeat and I won't get tired of its songs. And I think if it can do that, it deserves to be an S tier song. Next up, and even more deserving of S tier, Loser Baby. This was like, outside of Stayed Gone, this was like the song that I just early on into the show was just so obsessed with. Got to a point that I think there were days where I was just singing this song on repeat for the entirety of the day. It had that effect on me, and it was just, everything that could go right about this song, I think, did. And also, holy shit, the range that is displayed for this song, so good. So good. And the way the higher range of Blake and the lower range of Keith just kind of like complemented each other on the harmonies and stuff that they did, like going back and forth a little. It made my heart and my ears so happy. S tier. S tier. Next up is Hell's Greatest Dad. I don't think that I need any sort of justification to put this at an S tier song. Earlier in the video, I said that there was another person that makes every musical act just about that he's involved in a certified banger. That other name is Jeremy Jordan, folks. I love this man. I love him and his voice so damn much. So let me set the stage for you guys on why I like Jeremy Jordan so much. Back in about 2015 or so, he was the lead in Finding Neverland, which at the time was an off-Broadway musical. On its, I think it was its second to last show before it moved on to Broadway, I got to watch this man perform live. And, I didn't know I could fall in love with a voice until that performance. Genuinely. Did not know how obsessed one could be with someone's vocal ability, someone's singing talent, until I saw Jeremy Jordan sing live. He is so damn talented, y'all. So good. My single biggest regret is that I did not buy. I think they had been I think they were talking like advertising like a cast CD, and I regret so much not buying one, because when it went on to Broadway, he was recast. Jeremy Jordan was not in the show. I don't know if it was to like a scheduling thing with something else, or if they just wanted to recast moving on to Broadway. But Jeremy Jordan was no longer J.M. Barrie. He got replaced by Matt Morrison, and to this day, I think that Jeremy Jordan outsang that role. I think he performed it better. I think he sounded better on the songs. I will die on that hill. I will. It's simple as that. Since then, anything this man has done, I have been here for. I have loved every minute of it. He is so talented. When I heard that he was Lucifer, I was already hooked before I found out that he was cast as Lucifer. But my God, it made me so excited. And Hell's Greatest Dad didn't know that I wanted to hear him on Electro Swing. I think that's what the style or the genre of that song is. Didn't know how badly I wanted to hear him sing that kind of music until that song came out. My only gripe is that Mimsy ended it. That is the only thing I don't like about this song. I know that narratively it had to be that way, because if she didn't just butt in and appear, Lucifer and Alistair would have fought, and that would have ended very poorly. I get that, but still, I feel bad about having this opinion, but I kind of wish that Hell's Greatest Dad had the same treatment that Loser Baby did, where in the show it got cut off by something, but on the soundtrack they had recorded an alternate ending. And I feel bad about this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I wish that they had an alternate ending where Mimsy wasn't there and they just got to finish off the song between Alistair and Lucifer. I wish I had that. We don't have that. I don't think we'll ever have that, but I just that is like the single gripe I have. Like when Mimsy comes on, I either go back to just restart the song, or I skip to the next one. I don't even let Mimsy sing. I feel so bad about it, because I've heard Mimsy's voice actress sing other songs. I think the what is it, like the Steven Universe song? I think it's a Steven Universe song that she sings that's like a very similar vibe to Hell's Greatest Dad, like musically, or like stylistically. I enjoy that. I think I've heard the comparisons. I've seen people play both, and I like how she sounds there. Could not care less for Mimsy. I feel bad that that's my opinion, but that's my opinion. It's still an S tier banger though. I still take out Mimsy, I will listen to that on repeat forever. S. More than anything. S. I mean, Jeremy Jordan, first of all. And second of all, this was also still about Jeremy Jordan, but this was the song that I wanted for Jeremy Jordan when I heard that he got cast in this show. I wanted something that would allow him to just flex his range, show what he can do. And I believe that this song did that. It's also just a really heartwarming song. It's just, melts your heart. It invoked so many tears from anyone with daddy issues as well. That was a trend that I saw as soon as this song came out. Like everything on every other video on my For You page when this song dropped was like people talking about how it like reinvigorated their daddy issues. Musically, this song is amazing. I love both Lucifer and Charlie's parts, but this was the opportunity to let Jeremy Jordan just kind of show why he's as good as he is. And I'm gonna stop it there, because that's really all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. S tier. After that, Welcome to Heaven. After that, I'll go back and talk about this. It just didn't vibe with me. As much as I wanted it to, this song, Welcome to Heaven, it did not vibe. I could not tell you why. It just felt, actually, I can't tell you why. It felt generic. It felt, I don't want to be insulting. I do not want to be insulting. But every other song, even if I wasn't the biggest fan of it, felt more there, more in, like, here we are, here's our personality, our uniqueness. Welcome to Heaven just felt like a generic border, like the stereotype of like, oh, this is like a formulaic pop song when you hear like the next copy and paste popular radio song come out. That, not to that extreme, but that's kind of the vibe I got from this song. It's just different from the rest, like different from everything else over here, and it didn't vibe with me. So it's not going to be in C. I'm marooning it on an island. There has to be some separation between that and the rest of the soundtrack. It's just, I didn't like it. Next up, You Didn't Know. This is a goddamn banger. One of my top 5 songs, no matter what. And considering we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs outside of You Didn't Know in S tier, if it's a top 5, it has to be S tier. This is just, it gave so many opportunities for so many different characters to be in this song. Every single one of them nailed their part in it. We've got Charlie, we've got Lute, we've got Adam, we've got Vaggie, we've got Emily, we've got Sarah. So many different characters got to shine in this song, and not one of them did a bad job. This one was so well put together. It made me just so hyped hearing it. And the reprise of Hell is Forever, are you kidding me? I am a sucker for a good reprise. And not only did this narratively flip Hell is Forever on its head, directing it right at Adam and Lute. Well, more at everyone, but like, Charlie was at least directing it at Adam and Lute. But not only did they narratively get to flip that, it sounded so good when they did. It sounded amazing. Just, mwah, chef's kiss. I don't remember if I've said that yet in this video. I definitely said it a lot in the failed version of this video without audio. Chef's kiss. It was just amazing. Loved this song and everything that happened in it. Out for Love. This one, oof. Some people might come at me for this. I feel like it's a B tier. I feel like it's where so far A tier is comprised of songs that I think were just 1 or 2 things away from being an S tier, put it on repeat kind of bop. You know what? No. You know what? It's gonna go in A tier, and I'm gonna tell you why. Not because of the English version. I heard the Spanish version of this song. It genuinely sounds like it was written for Spanish first and then just translated over to English. Like, if you like this song in English, please listen to it in Spanish. It is so good. Like, I would borderline put it for S tier if we were doing like the Spanish version, like the Spanish dub of this soundtrack. I don't feel like the Spanish dub should put it in S tier with the English dubs, like with the English soundtrack. So, but I will allow that to bump it up to A tier. Ready for this? Another certified banger. This was, such a good song. One thing that I really liked about this song was just how much we got to see from Charlie. I feel like this was peak Charlie here. Like, this was the pitch of all pitches for the Hazbin Hotel. And not only do we get to see Charlie in her element, but we get to see Alistair and Rosie do their thing. That is, I love something about Rosie's line, like the I concur part. the way that line is delivered just scratches an itch that I could hear Rosie say "I concur" on repeat, and that alone would get this song in S tier, let alone everything else that it has. Coffee. Yeah. On top of that, too, in the actual show itself, when this song is happening, someone yeets like an umbrella at Alistair from the crowd, and I'm guessing it was like one of his shadows or something like that, because Alistair like knew it was coming and like grabbed it. It was all part of the choreography. But I just love the little headcanon-y idea that one of the cannibals just like yeeted that from the back, just being like, let's see what happens. I just my little headcanon of it just being it not being one of Alistair's like shadows doing that, so he like why he knew, but it just being a meme cannibal just being like yeet. It cracks me up just thinking about it. It's such a silly little thing. Up next, the More Than Anything reprise. When it comes to this, you guys know what I said about reprises with Hell Is Forever, with the You Didn't Know. I think this song is deserving of S tier. Let me tell you why. Not only do we get to finally see Charlie and Vaggie come together musically, because when they were introduced in the show, like even in the pilot, they were already an established, loving, supportive couple. We got that already. So we didn't get to see like a coming together, like I'm so deeply in love with you kind of thing that if they like got together during the show would have inevitably happened as they came together. I think having them reprise the song that is showcasing the deep love and appreciation that Charlie and Lucifer have for each other is perfect for showing just how truly in love with each other Charlie and Vaggie are. And to have that be after they've already reconciled, once Vaggie is revealed to be an angel, like that shock has happened, they were apart for a little bit, and then came back together stronger than ever. Having that, having this song, this reprise happen after that, oh, so good for the narrative, for everything. It makes the song hit harder than if this happened before that reveal. And I think waiting to have an emotional moment musically together until after that, if they're only going to have one moment like this, I want it to be exactly where this is. S tier. And then the finale. When it comes to, I think I said this in the beginning, where there's like a right and a wrong way to, or just a standard way to do a musical opening that like sets the stage, lets everyone know what's going on. That also applies for the finale, and I loved this finale. I'm putting this in S tier. It's just similar to You Didn't Know. It gives so many different people an opportunity to shine musically that we hadn't really seen all too much. Like we got pretty much the entire main cast. We got the V's even, and my only gripe, and I don't remember who started this take, but I saw some reviewer on TikTok. I really wish I remembered who it was so I could properly credit them. They had the take in their review of the final episode that the V's portion of this song, where it's like after the battle, masterless cattle, all that, their depiction of events does not line up with what we actually see play out. Like what the V's are describing is like this all-out war with so many overlords missing, dead, whatever. The power imbalance is there, and they have an opportunity to fill it. In reality, the only fight that we saw was at the hotel. There was only one overlord involved, and he didn't die. He retreated after being hurt, which they saw and commented on. They didn't know that Alistair came back, or was gonna come back like 2 seconds later. For all they knew, he might have done another 7-year absence, which there's a power vacuum, but the way they described it made it seem like it was like so much bigger and widespread than it actually was. It just didn't line up. That's literally my only gripe in this in this song, and that's just the writing. It has nothing to do with the musical ability of the people in it, the way the song came together. I loved it all. I hate that reviewer for giving me that thought, because now I can't get it out of my head whenever I hear that part of the song. I'm like, but that's not what happened. Why are you saying it like it was? Outside of that, though, everyone got to shine here. I mean, did you guys notice in the show how like excited Husk seemed to be before Alistair came back? Like that dude thought his soul was his again. You cannot tell me otherwise. That for a moment he thought he was free. It's just that song, the finale was done so well. Also, Jeremy Jordan's in it, so immediately already brings it up to at least an A. I very much enjoyed it, and I think it was a fantastic way to end season 1. That's the tier list. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 songs in S tier out of what I think a 16 song lineup. That's, my God, that is almost 2/3 of the entire soundtrack is S tier, in my mind, certified bangers that you can play on repeat with very few questions asked. I am crediting that to the fact that this is essentially an animated 3-hour Broadway musical. That is, it strikes the theater kid in me. The musical production was on point, and having actual Broadway performers as a majority of the cast too, it is just a concoction built in heaven for success, at least musically in my theater kid heart. Except for Welcome to Heaven, the vibes were off on you, but everything else was amazing. Well, this was fun. This was my first ever tier list ever. Genuinely have not been on Tier Maker before today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, because I had a lot of fun with it. Hold on, let me go back to just my face, because there's not too much going on in the actual Tier Maker tier list template anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed, and you know what? If you agreed with my takes, leave a like. If you didn't agree with my takes, comment down below. I will argue to the death on every single point that I made, or until I get bored. One of the two. Whichever comes first, whichever comes last, I don't know. I'll argue with me down below if you think my take is trash. Send this to a friend if you think they'd enjoy it. If you stuck around until this point, thank you so much. I'm glad I was able to keep you entertained or fuel your rage until you got to this point in the video. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, night, evening, whatever the time zone says it is by the time you get to this point in the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.